Hey everyone, new location, same house, different room. So, trying something new, and I know it's not the most interesting background right now, but I'm getting there. Okay, so I am doing a video. I don't know if this is going to be extra or if I'm going to save this for in the morning. I think I'm going to use it in the morning. Um, and tomorrow morning will be Friday morning. So today is Thursday afternoon. And um, so I do feel like there are some energies that need to be moved on. And so I thought, okay, we're doing this together, and it's as much about watching how another practitioner works for those of you who are working, and for those of you who are just learning. This is I like to treat it as a tutorial as well, because I have taught classes, metaphysical classes, as well as just traditional classes. So, um, how do you know when there's an unresolved, you'll often hear earthbound, I prefer unresolved energy around you? And this came up with someone yesterday, we were talking about it. So, um, and as is the instance today, I have been exceptionally clumsy. If I could drop it, break it, spill it. And sometimes we just have those days, and we can get out of it by calming, centering, and saying, no, I reject this. Everything is fine. I have grace, ease, and balance in my day. And then you just go on and you don't think about it, and it works. Sometimes it's almost sort of an annoying, I know it's not coming from me, so why are all these weird things happening around me, or why am I so clumsy? And pretty often that can be because you have an energy around you that's throwing your energy off, or it could even be just a full on prankster kind of energy. But usually it's because an energy that is unresolved or earthbound is one that will, it's going to throw off your energy. Okay, because they're not getting any juice. They have refused to move into the light, even though it was time to do so. And it happens for a lot of reasons. But they've got to fill up on something. And usually it's our energy as the living. So, and sometimes they don't mean to. It's like a starving person who finds a morsel on the street. They're just going to pounce on it and try to gobble it all up, right? So anyway, so let's see if there's an energy coming through. Also, health problems or physical discomfort that is not originating from you or your own issues, or if an issue you have suddenly out of the blue gets a lot worse, and you're like, hold on a minute, that was just a mild ache. Why is it now a pain? And sometimes it is our stuff, and we got to go get it checked out and go to the doctor. But very often we can absorb in some of the angst or physical ailments of those around us, both living and dead. Because when you're empathetic, you often take on and absorb other people's stuff. That's why I'm very careful about what I want anyone to send me in terms of images or discussion about you have to be so careful when you're really empathic or really psychic or both, because sometimes you can absorb other people's stuff unwittingly. And that includes the dead as well as the living. Okay? And by dead, I mean those who have not resolved and moved on to the other side. All right, so let's get to checking our energy fields. Okay? So let's see what's around here. What is around? What is around? What is around us? Okay, right off the bat, I'm feeling that there are some people who may not have the highest and the best intentions at heart. Oh, and that's the stomach issues. So if you're having stomach issues, that is coming from someone who does not have the best and highest good, and they're green with envy. Okay? You think about what green with envy feels like, sounds like, or what we envision it as. It's sort of like the bile in your stomach, that anyway, we all know what that is. something you can't stomach, something you just are having trouble tolerating. Okay? So this is coming from the living. So this one is coming from the living. People who don't want to see you succeed. And that's petty. That's just, man, that's some heavy, serious, petty energy that they will have to answer to at some point. I banish it. Be gone. It is not allowed here. For all of you out there, if any of you are dealing with this, just say, I reject it, and brush it away. It truly is sometimes that simple. Once we realize what it is and where it's coming from, yeah, then you're not out for vengeance. Just remember that. You are all, hey, Hazelette. Here's Hazel. So you're not out for retribution or, well, send it back to them and make them so. No, that, because it's sort of like I don't know if you guys ever have heard about the Hatfields and McCoys. I remember learning about that in middle school in a history class. Bitter feud, many deaths, and it was all just over a simple family. Hazel's butt. She's not happy about me moving her. Go on. Thank you. Anyway, but it was all over a simple, stupid feud that escalated, and by the end of it, I don't even know if they remembered what it was about. So you don't need to send back if someone is sending you negativity, okay? What you can do is just ask for it to be removed from you and any angelic team, spirit guides, guardians, protectorate, anyone of the light that comes in the light of God, then it absolutely can be transmuted and destroyed. I know thoughts are things, and there's the whole energy is energy, but maybe the intent of negativity destroyed, but it can be transmuted into something that then might help a cause. Ask for it to be sent to, transmuted and changed into healing energy that could help rather than hurt. Okay? And somewhere in the world, the planet, animals, or political situation, whatever it is you want to do, wherever you want to send it, just ask, or just tell them, send this transmuted, healed energy to whomever or whatever is most in need. Okay? And don't worry about the person that sent it, because once you turn that off, it's sort of like the door closes. They do not have access to you, but if you keep ruminating on it, thinking about it, fuming on it, you keep that energetic door open. And I know it's hard because it just seems so unfair, but you know what? People will learn their own lessons, and unfortunately it's often the hard way. I think I'm going to have to make this just an extra video because it's a little weird, and it's going to it's got a definite niche population that will be interested in it. So I'm just going to call this a tutorial. So, energetic tutorial. So some of that is a cutting cord issue. And when you cut cords, it's like, and I've said this before, it's like cauterizing a wound. And also get your teams involved in that too, whether it's the protectorate, whether it's the angelic realm. And you are asking for light to be sent through both ends to sever it so that that connection is not there. And then try not to think about it. It's sort of like manifestation. The more you think about it and wish and hope and and get all excited about it because you're afraid it's not going to happen, it takes longer, and it makes it harder to happen. Okay? So what else am I getting? Because I feel like whatever this is, I feel like it's twofold, this energy coming in. So I feel like we have an energy of the living. There could be 2 or 3 doing this. They just haven't figured out how much they're hurting themselves. And there is a tremendous amount of jealousy, which means you must be doing something right. But there's also a lack of awareness of the scope of the energy they're dabbling with. Okay? They think it makes them tough and powerful. It doesn't. So what we're going to do for any further issues with the living that may be sending negativity to you and trying to attach cords and usurp your energy and all of that, always make sure and do an energy retrieval. However, do it after you've called in your teams. And right now we're going to call on our spirit guides, guardians, Archangel Michael, and our protectorate to cut, sever all cords and energetic ties to our etheric body leading into our physical body in all directions of time. Sever them, send light through them, send healing light. Hopefully that will change what's going on with the individual or individuals who are trying to hurt you, or cause physical discomfort or harm in whatever way. And just see it as done. Just know what's happened. We are calling on spirit beings and entities who come in the light of God. There is no greater strength or power. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. It doesn't matter what you call it. You could say God, Goddess, Allah, Buddha. It doesn't matter. When you find your higher power and the source of creation, if you want to say creator, creator of all that is good, creator of all the light, that is when you can relax, because you're calling on that and in earnest handing over what you need to hand over. Ask for help and you will be helped. It's a very strange time right now. There's been so much anxiety and stress and worry, and I'm not talking about just the obvious things. I mean, in the lives of individuals around us. People feel like they have the right to be as awful as they want to be without repercussion. And it's just not true. It's not true at all. So you don't have to do anything other than call in your teams to help you, to surround you, to protect you, to say, no, I reject the negativity. I reject the negativity of all of those who do not have the highest and best for all involved as their forefront intention. Once you have released all of that, not caring what someone does is actually one of the most powerful places you can be, because they can't touch you. Then that's when you stand and you call your energy back. Now that's dealing with the living. We also have, and I do distinctly feel there are some untransitioned spirits that are lingering around. This is odd. Children don't usually linger, so I'm wondering if they're really children or if this is the way someone's presenting to me. That's a whole different realm of trying to tap into your energy when you're dealing with the deceased, okay? And it is a conscious choice not to step into the light and cross over to the other side when the earthly body does die. Most do not. Most will go straight into that light. When you feel that much love and compassion and healing and warmth, it amazes me that anyone would choose not to go in. I mean, I understand why they do, but there are some instances where I do understand why they made that choice. But it's not a good choice, okay? And eventually they do move on. But sometimes when you get some of the more hardcore ones, instead of the ones who are just wounded or afraid or whatever, when you get kind of the hardcore, kind of nastier ones, they do like to trick you and make you think you're seeing something that you're really not. Like, and it's filling up. So, I saw what appeared to be two, like, 10-year-olds, a boy and a girl, had the Children of the Corn kind of look, and I think they were trying to be creepy and scary, but it's not two kids. It's a single individual, and it's a male between 23 and 24. How long have you been around here? Let's see. And also, you can't trust anything they say when they haven't transitioned. They could be just playing games, but I'm asking spirit guides and guardians to step in and psychically kind of help me to get some bearings on who this is. And if it takes too long, don't run the risk of them getting away from you. Just open the gateway. It's time to go. Open the gateway, please. Someone's going to have to come get him. He's not willing to go, and he's too far off in his own head to even communicate clearly. Hold on just a second. He's kind of still being corralled and moved on. If he were a card in the tarot, he would be the worst version of the Magician. Okay, this is a guy who is young and delighted in. He felt invisible in life, and he delighted in being invisible in death because he was able to infiltrate people's minds. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. So he's gone. Whew, it even feels, oh gosh, I actually feel lighter. Spirits like that what they do is they were chaos seekers in life, and they're even more so when they're just the same person but without a body. And there was always this sense of victimhood about them. So they felt right and entitled in terrorizing people. So it's sort of like a form of psychological warfare. This young man, he's been gone. I'm hearing the number 5. So I asked, how long has he been around? So I think he's been gone for about 5 years. I'm not going to ask for any more than that. But he's the kind that gets into your head and plays on your insecurities and your fears, and then it's sort of like it's like having a manipulator whisper in your ear, and it makes you see things that aren't really the way things are. Okay? And so all right, for example, let's say you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I gained all this weight and I worked so hard, blah, 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 blah. And then you catch yourself and glimpse yourself you're like, I'm exactly the same size I was. What's this about? Okay. Or you're having a health problem that you've had your entire lifetime. And it's like, pretty much, you've been dealing with that for so many decades. If it were fatal, you'd have been gone by now. That's what I told my doctor recently about my GI stuff. I'm like, I would have been gone by now. This has been since I was a little tiny child. So I just find it interesting when these flare-ups happen and why. And it's the same kind of thing. And then it's like how they call a song an earworm, or like the weird creature thing on the Star Trek movie where it burrows into your head and makes you nuts, makes you crazy. Yeah. If those of you who remember the old one, I think that this was one that had Ricardo Montalban in it when they got him off the deserted planet, or anyway, blah blah blah. I'm not great, but see, all of a sudden my mood has lifted. I feel better. It's amazing. So that little sneaky so-and-so probably been hanging out for a while with me. Now, as far as the living, I think that's not only something I'm dealing with, but I think it's something that a portion, but I would say about a quarter, that many, a quarter of the collective, you guys are dealing with the same kind of backstabbing jealousy. Seriously. So, you know what? Don't worry about it. You shut it off at the source, you cut it off with you, and it will be pushed away. You ask for help and it will be gone. All right, so, but that's how some of this works. And so if you all of a sudden feel like you're constantly swimming against the current, you're dropping stuff. If you have pets, how are they behaving? What's going on? Just notice the natural world around you. And so, oh, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, Mikael. Thank you, Protectorate Team. Thank you, Spirit Guides and Guardians. Okay. So, and just what I did, you watched what I did as I did it and who I called on and how I just asked for the gateway to open. And when I realized this is one I couldn't communicate with because it was just going to play mind games with me, that's when I said, I need you guys to come deal with this, remove this one now. I didn't want to ask questions. I didn't want to engage. I knew I couldn't trust any of it. You guys can do this just as well. And even if you don't want to engage, if it's just a wounded person, you're trying to help them make the choice to move on their own, then all you have to do, if you feel something and you're not certain, just call on the archangel realm, call on your spirit guides and guardians, and call on your protection team, and call them that if you want, until you get to the point where you're meditating and you can make the link to who they are and what they feel like. I really, really insist that if you're going to do this, try to do that. Then, but call on them and just say, I feel like there's an energy present. Please remove it. Thank you. And give it to them to deal with. So there's that. And then be kind and gentle with yourself. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, do something that makes you laugh, do something that makes you happy, sing, dance, cook up a batch of your favorite cookies. Do something that makes you happy today. And notice that all of a sudden you do feel lighter, freer, and happier. Oh man, I must have been carrying this around for a little bit, and I did have some. Last week was a horrible week, and just no way to get around that. But it didn't, and I think that also made me more vulnerable, and it helped these other energies come in. All right, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going to leave this video where it is, and I will be on in the morning with a regular morning video, and I'll probably still do it in here. I know I'm going to try to get something to put right here so it's not quite so empty looking, but it might be a little bit. And I have to be careful with plants because I don't want the cats to eat them, so maybe I'll just get a big fake plant. So so anyway, I am sending love to you all. Be careful, be safe. And I know this was, again, yet another weird video today, but this one was important, and I am going to label this as an energy tutorial and death walking tutorial. So I hope this resonates. I debated just going in and doing this on my own, but something just kept saying other people need to hear about this, and I think it's because so many of you are dealing with similar issues. Still go to the doctor, still get the tests done, but I'm going to bet it's not going to be what you think, and for some of you, not for all. And it's important to do. I'm still going to go do the tests. I'm still going to go do all of that. But I can promise you And I'm just going to call them that little so-and-so because I don't appreciate the mind games. I can promise you that's what happened. And it started some time ago. But yeah. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Be well. Thank you. Do your energy retrieval and cut those cords. Anything I said and the way I said it, if you just want to chime in, great. But understand it's your teams you're calling on, not mine, yours. You have them. All right, I absolutely love you all so much. And I'm hungry now. I'm really hungry now, so I'm going to go get something to eat. Be well, and I will see you in the morning.